Hello and good afternoon, and welcome to Fashion Flair Friday. I hope you're all doing well. And I'm wondering, last week we talked about the Nordstrom's pre fall anniversary sale that started this past week. And I'm wondering how you did or whether you participated or not. I know I had quite a nice little list, and I've been getting boxes, a box at my door for the last couple of days, and been very happy with some things and not so happy with others. So, what I have noticed is that Nordstrom's has really streamlined their process for returning things, for which I am very grateful. So I hope you are taking advantage of the sale that is going on. And what I just want to say to you is, I don't recommend you buy just for the sake of buying, but you're buying with, a strategic reason in mind, or the need to replace something that is in the wardrobe. So today, first of all, I guess I should tell you who I am for those of you that are watching this on YouTube or come into Facebook at a later time. I'm Marian Gellatly. I'm a certified image master, better known as a style coach, style and wardrobe coach, and I have had my practice now for 30 years. And what I love to do for my clients is I love to help them eliminate the frustration that they have. Um, Eliminate that comment that I get all the time where Mary and I have a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. So that syndrome is, I like to bust that and blow it apart and really make sure that you're stopping the wasteful spending on things you don't need, and that you're saving time so that you're very strategic and know exactly what you should be buying. So, how do I do that? I do that through my training programs, and I do that through my one on one coaching as well. So, I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. All right, so today's topic is I want to share with you 10 components that I think are really important to have a modern and professional style. And for those of you that are back again for another week with me, I just always want to remind you to go ahead and put your "Hello, Marian" in the comments and let me know you're here. And if you're watching this later on replay, please go ahead and put the hashtag replay so I know you've been here. All right. So I have a lot to say about modern professional style. And the thing that I want to just say is that your wardrobe really needs to work hard for you if you're a professional. It needs to support you. It needs to give you a look that what might be right for one person may not be right for another. But the idea is that whatever your style is, whatever your wardrobe consists of, it must support you in what you do in your life. And you know that if I were to take a survey here, I would get, people from different areas of the country, people from different careers, people that are working with different kinds of people. And so I wouldn't expect that everyone that's on this call is going to do the same thing. We're all going to do something different, but we're going to do it because we've thought about it strategically in terms of what is right for us. So I don't want you just throwing on some pieces of clothes that you have on your closet and say, okay, that's a work outfit. No, you need to do a little bit of thinking before you do that. So, I'm going to talk to you about 10 components that I think, 10 pieces that you really need to have in your wardrobe, in your style, and in your colors, and in your body flattering proportions, because again, we're all unique. So let's begin with, I think, one of the very probably the most important piece in a woman's wardrobe is a jacket. And jackets come in all kinds of colors and styles. And what I would just say is you want to have a jacket that is in one of your best neutrals or in one of your favorite accent colors. So today I have on a neutral, and this is, although I don't think you can see it here on the screen, it's a combination of black and a midnight blue. Both colors are great neutrals for my personal coloring. So here I have a jacket that is casual in its styling and yet has a fabric that is a tight weave. So that's the thing that I'm going to say is important about your jacket. It needs to be, as I said, in your neutral or accent color. It needs to be in a tight weave because a tight weave is going to wear really well. And it needs to be altered to fit your body or fit your arm length or fit your overall torso length. So really look at that because I'll tell you that there is definitely a hidden message to bad fit. So I want you to feel good when you're in that jacket. So number one, a jacket. And that jacket, again, could be anything from a jean jacket to the kind of jacket that I'm wearing right now, which is kind of fun. It's got a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see this, a little ruffly edge. It's got a zipper that goes down the front, and it's got a little tiny ruffle that goes right across the yoke here. So I would say that it's kind of a fun jacket, but the color is very serious. So you look at your jackets and you think, what message is this jacket sending? And I'm going to tell you a story about a woman that that I knew years ago who is now, transitioned to another life. But whenever she would come in and network at a professional women's group that I belonged to, she was a house painter. Okay. And she would definitely be at work during the day, and then she would come to our meetings in the evening. And when she did, she always had her overalls on and sometimes splattered with a little bit of paint, which was kind of fun. But she always had on a clean jean jacket, and she always had a little red bandana tied around her neck. So you can see that that really represented her brand, and it up-leveled her overalls, didn't it? Just by adding that jacket. So think about that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm seeing a few people here. Very good. Hi, Liz and Patty Thompson and Patty Cameras and Janice and Cameron. Wonderful. So far, the live video is not working well. Gosh, it's working good on my end, so it could be your internet connection possibly. Let me know. All right, so jacket is number one. Daytime dress is number two. That's the second component because I think a dress really provides a very unique wardrobing solution. You can put it on and you can go out the door, and the message of that dress is going to go out the door with you. So it could be a more formal sheath type of dress. It can be maybe a flowier dress that's more fun and more approachable and more free-flowing. That sends another message. So a dress can be fun, it can be serious, it can be formal, it can be approachable. Once again, you want to look at your dresses in your closet and say, okay, is this going to send the message about me and about what I do? So having that daytime dress ready to and accessorized to be able to walk out the door is very important. So with accessories, I'm talking about jewelry and I'm talking about shoes and handbag, and we're going to talk about those things here in a moment. But once again, here, the dress needs to be altered to fit your body. All right. Component number three are good basics. Okay, what do I mean by basics? These are kind of the core pieces that you rely on every single day. So they can be your trousers or your slacks. It can be a blazer or blazers. It can be skirts. It could be a blouse. And I want you to think about, for sure, the pants and the skirts and the trousers in neutral colors. So by that I'm talking about, I said here, navy and black are good neutrals for me. It could be charcoal, it could be brown. And guess what? You don't have to spend big bucks on these items. So I'll have some people say to me, well, I really need to spend a lot of money on these because these are my workhorse pieces. And I can understand that philosophy, but I also like to say, really, you don't have to spend a lot of money because these are colors that are readily available in the marketplace. So buying moderate priced lines and then saving your money for your star pieces, I think makes good sense. It's a strategy that I put into place in my closet and it served me very well. So, moderate pricing, simple details. So, not a lot of hardware, not a lot of stuff going on these basics. That's why they're called basics. Clean details, simple lines. In fact, the simpler the piece, the easier it is to make them look expensive if you put them together as part of a well coordinated outfit. So, jacket, daytime dress, great basics. And then, how about undergarments? Okay. This is an area where an awful lot of women just don't like to spend money. And well, I guess nobody's going to see them, they think. But guess what? They are the foundation of everything that is going to sit on top. So having good undergarments that fit you well, maybe it's going to be a great fitting bra. Maybe it's going to be a bra that's going to uplift the girls as we get a little bit older, right? What happens? They start to go down south a little bit. So we need to make sure that we've got good support in our bras. Maybe it might be a body shaper. So if you're like me and you have a little, pooch above my waistline, then having a slimming sort of a camisole or a one piece is a wise investment. Why? Because I do it for myself. I do it because it makes me feel better. I do it because when I look in the mirror, I like the look better. So it's not coming from external reasons for doing it. I'm doing it because I want to feel good, and I also love the fact that my shaper gives me really good back support, and that's something that I want and I need. All right. And also, too, if you're wearing dresses, because dresses are so big right at the moment, from mini skirts to maxi skirts and everything in between, how about a slip? That's something that sometimes we don't think about like we used to in the good old days. So, a slip that you can put under dresses that may have a little bit more of a gauzy look or feel to them, I think is a really good strategy. All right. Number 5 are going to be shoes. So for a professional look, I like to encourage women to have a shoe that has a little more structure to it. In fact, for a professional look, I really prefer closed toe shoes, even if they're open on the side or even if they're open in the back, kind of a slide in with a strap in the back, a slip on. That I think looks better than an open-toed sandal, unless, again, you're in a very casual environment or you're going to a very casual event. And we know right now, because it's summer, sandals are out there in a big way, in sandal heels as well. But there's also one thing out there right now, and that's the mule or the slide in. So you slide your foot in and it covers the toe and it gives you a little more structure. So I would also say, think about the hardware on the shoe and look at it. Is it refined? So a professional look is going to have more refinement to it than a real casual, social sort of a look. And I would also suggest that you really think about how high you go, either on the platform or the heel. Can you walk in them? Do you have stability? Because again, if you're in a professional setting, you don't want to have to think or you don't have to worry about those kinds of things. For summertime, one of the things I like to recommend is some sort of a nude color in the shoe where the shoe and the leg kind of blend together and just fade away. So I think a nude colored pump is a great option for summer. And don't forget to keep your shoes in really good repair. So watch the toe. I have a tendency to wear down the toe really quickly. So I have to take it into my cobbler and have him go ahead and just add a new tip on my toe. For you, it might be the heel or it could be the sole, but just check it out and make sure that your shoes are in good repair. So jacket, daytime dress, good basics, undergarments, shoes, tote bag is number 6. So a tote bag for a professional woman, I think, is just a really important asset. And if you're like me and you want to carry your laptop or your iPad or your phone, you need something that's going to have the space for you to do that. Maybe file folders. I happen to take file folders along with me as well as I have my laptop. So I need a tote that is going to have some structure to it. When I set it down, when I get to my clients or when I get into a meeting, I don't want it to fall over. I don't want it to slouch. I want it to stand up straight. So having a leather that is going to allow that kind of stability, I think is important. And the other thing I think is really important for a tote is to have the feet on the bottom of the tote. So when you set it down next to you, it's not sitting flat on the floor. It's the feet are raising it up off the floor slightly. And if you have a tote bag that you love, but it doesn't have feet, take it into your cobbler and they'll go ahead and add the feet for you. All right, so making sure that the zippers are strong, that they're easy to use, and also I think here again, spare in details. So, not a whole lot of decor going on the bag. And the reason for that is because a tote is expensive and you don't want it to go out of style immediately. You want to be able to keep that tote for 5 years or even longer. I think my tote, I've had probably, my 2 totes, I've had probably anywhere between 5 and 9 years, I would say. And they're both still in really great condition. All right. Now, how about a watch? Is anybody wearing a watch anymore? Or are we all picking up our iPhones and using that for our timekeeper? So if you are still wearing a watch, then just make sure that it's the face of the watch is of your metal, whether that's gold or whether that's silver or whether that's rose gold, and that the band, the corresponding band, is up leveled. In other words, I don't want to see a sport band. I don't want to see a exercise band or a plastic band for professional unless your business is very casual or where you live is extremely casual. So invest in a watch if you're going to wear one. And just make sure that it matches kind of your work environment. All right, and number 8 would be grooming. And I just want to say, invest 15 minutes a day, with good skincare, adding the makeup just to finish off. Of course, I always talk about, making sure that the eyes pop. So mascara, making sure that the eyebrows are defined because we lose color in them as we age. And I think it's really important to have a bit of lipstick in a very neutral color or a pop of color to bring you alive. The other thing I wanted to say about grooming would be think about your hair. Think about your haircut. Is it a fresh cut? Is your color, are you working with the color that either is naturally growing in, or are you highlighting or low lighting? And if so, making sure that you're on that and you're maintaining that. Also, this is something sometimes we don't think about in terms of style, and that is going to be the condition of your vehicle. So if you have to take a client somewhere, or you have to stop by a client's, or you may even just be going with a friend to lunch, making sure that your car is clean. Doesn't have to be, a Mercedes or a Tesla or anything like that, but whatever it is it clean? Is it vacuumed? Are the kids' toys and food out of there? So that's part of your professional image, just as your clothes happen to be. And then I want to talk about your iPhone, because this is something that, we're pulling out, we're setting it on a table, we're holding it in our hand, we're looking at it for time and so forth. So does your case need to be upgraded or updated? Now I have an old phone. I have a 10. You can tell that from the camera that I have here. But what's important is that your case is clean, that maybe it's got a little fun detail on the back of it. I know that I was getting a little sloppy there, and my case was getting a little dirty. And I really noticed it and I went, oh my goodness, I can't have this. So I need to get myself another one. And there are so many fun cases out there. So think about this as part of your modern professional style as well. And then lastly, I want to just say a few things about Zoom. I think that Zoom has encouraged us in a way to get too comfortable with how we show up representing our business. So I want us all to really think about that. Are we showing up representing our business in the way we want people to really think of us? So if you look like you've just rolled out of bed and you have a t-shirt on, or you've got your hair up in a ponytail, that's not probably how you would show up for an in-person meeting with a client. So think about how you would show up for that in-person meeting with the client, or that in-person meeting with, let's say, a board that you happen to be on, or a community passion of yours. So just always think about, how am I presenting myself on Zoom? So not only in terms of your clothing and your grooming, but also your lighting. Can people see you? How about your set behind you? Is it conducive to, again, whatever your business happens to be? So let me just see. I think I just saw something here. Okay, so Liz, you're saying too, you're having some trouble commenting. It could, again, be your internet. I don't know, because I am seeing comments here. And you did mention that you froze. And I know yesterday when we were on the phone, you were freezing up a little bit. So I think that's probably your internet, your Wi-Fi. Okay, Tracy Root, hi, how are you? You said you wear your Fitbit, but you have a rose gold bezel and a band. Yes, absolutely. So that's what I'm talking about. These are the kinds of things that we can just up level something very easily and bring it into the more professional realm. All right, let me see if there are any other comments. Just lots of highs, 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 highs. Great tip about Zoom. Yes, I really can't say enough about the importance of Zoom. And one of the things I'll just tell you is that if this is something you struggle with a little bit, or you want feedback about how you're showing up on camera and what your set is like behind you, I have a service called a first impression consultation. And we get together on Zoom and I give you a lot of helpful hints and tips very specifically to who you are. And if you want to learn more about that, you can go onto my website, which is powerful-presence.com, and click on the services button and just scroll on down. I think it's under the new clients button, and scroll on down and you'll see the first impression consultation. Now, some of the other things that I talked about, really understanding, okay, the colors that are going to work best for you, understanding the fit what's going to work for your body, understanding the styling of jackets or basics that are going to work for you, how to choose shoes and how to choose accessories that really will solidify and speak your style personality are all things that I teach in the Empowered Style program. And I think most of you have probably heard me talk about the Empowered Style program, but I just want to let you know that it's going to be starting up again in August 18th. And right now, through July 28th, you get $500 off the program if you get enrolled soon. And I take a small 10 people is the maximum that I take in the class. So if you have an interest, I wouldn't hesitate too long. I've got a few people already signed up, but always am looking for having a fun, interactive, supportive community as we go through the 7 pillars of an empowered style. So if you haven't seen this little PDF or this handout that really talks about each one of the pillars, you can go ahead in the comments area, just write in "want pillars," and what I can do is get a hold of you, or if I have your email, I'll just email it to you. If I don't, then I can go ahead and contact you through direct messenger, get your email address, and send it off to you. So any questions about the 10 components of a modern contemporary style? Let's just review it again. Great jacket or jackets, a great daytime dress, great basics that fit you well in colors that are going to serve you well to build upon, undergarments and shapers, shoes, a great tote bag, your watch or watch band, your iPhone and its case, your grooming, and Zoom. So those are all the components. Let's see here. I'm just looking here to make sure I don't miss anything. So everything that I see here in the comments, I think has been addressed today. But if not, and you want to put more comments in, please do so. I always come back, or actually I go after I shut down the live, I go back to see if there are any comments, and then I will answer them personally. So don't hesitate to ask questions or ask for further clarification on anything that I spoke about today. And I think that's going to do it for this week's edition of Fashion Flair Friday. But I'll be back here next Friday with a new topic. Again, don't hesitate to make suggestions of what you'd like me to talk about or what you'd like me to address. I'm happy to, entertain all your ideas and actually appreciate them a lot. Okay, you all, have a nice weekend and bye for now.